Ridge lines. What's the ridge line got to do with it? This ridge line drops off right into the lake. It's got everything to do with it. Let's go. Long cast, forget about it, let it fall. You gotta trust in that jig. That'll keep. It's fat. 3 days ago, there was 2 and 3 inches of ice covering this whole lake. Big federal reservoir, big lake. We're standing on this ridge line, hardwood timber, big oak trees, shagbark hickory, hardwoods. Hardwoods that are associated with the timber line. Okay, we're not down in a flat, low-lying area where the trees would be cottonwoods, willows, and river maples. How can studying timber and understanding your environment help you with fishing? It's just that. This ridge line we're sitting on is going to continue into that water. Right along the bank, we're going to have sharp, steep drop-offs into deep water. That means we'll be able to cast to deep water crappie from the bank. We're going to reach them from the bank with our jigs and poles. We're halfway down this ridge line. You can see the contour of this bluff. Down in the water, down into the crappie hole. Let's go. Here he is. His little crappie got some fight today. Get over that ice, boy. It's a keeper. 10-inch fish. All right. Cast as far as we can out, reach the deepest water we can possible. Pull up just a little slack and let it ride. You got to see them fish down there. You got to see the bluff down there under the water. You got to feel the contour of that bank. You have to visualize it. It's a must. Getting close to the bottom there, so we start giving it some slow cranks. At the same time, I'm lifting up on the rod just a little bit every now and then. So if you see me give it some quicker turns like that, it's because I've just lifted my rod and I'm picking up my slack. Nothing. These fish aren't going to be anywhere close to the bank, so once I get it about halfway back to me, I go ahead and reel it up and recast. Get it back in the fish zone. Pick up our slack just a little bit. Let it ride. Let it fall. Watching the line. I got this 4-pound clear, so it's hard to watch my line with this setup, but we're trying. Wish I had some high vis on. There's a fish. On the fall, on the fall. And this fall technique does not work unless you're in some deep water. I mean, you can, it's just, if you're in a shallower setup, naturally your bait's not going to be able to fall as much. Duh. Keep them. This is about my 5th or 6th fish, and all of them been right at 10 inches, so I'm going to keep some of these 10-inch fish. All right. Missed one. Oh, that was light. Just felt a little resistance there. No thump, not really any weight on it, just a little resistance. And that's the way most of your bites will be in the wintertime. Just kind of feel something a little bit different. They're not going to knock it out of your hand. Let it fall a little bit and pick up your slack. You don't want them much, because the more you reel, the further you're bringing it closer to you, and need to stay out there in the deep water to pick up some fish. Need to keep it in that deeper water column as long as you can. I'm just reeling here, giving a couple twitches as I come in. Just enough reeling to keep the slack out of the line. Here comes the boats. They see JohnnyFish popping them on the bank. They're gonna come running. They know what's going on. Hear that old mercury chugging. That's fish. This is what we don't want to look for. This is an indication that you're going to have a slow tapering bank. By identifying trees, believe that or not, too. We've got big river maple here. Real flat pasture. It's flat, perfectly flat ground. River maples, softwoods, willow trees. Kind of trees that like to grow in swampy, wet, muddy areas. And this is not the upper end of the lake or anything. This is the main body. The dam's right there. This nice, soft, tapered plain. Flat ground is just going to taper off out there into the center of the lake. No good for fishing in the wintertime. Not for crappie. Not for crappie. Blue cats, channel cats, yeah, you could get them, but not for crappie. That guy's going to come right in on me now. A little bit more weight to it, I believe. Got to get him up over this block of ice. It's cold out here. Them fish stay fresh. Put them back in the water 15 minutes from now and they'll swim off. That's just how they are when it's cold like this. Yeah. He ain't posting right up on me, but he's pretty close. That guy was in pretty close to the bank. Here are these last two trips. I'm getting pretty surprised at how close some fish are to the bank. But I'm sure they're following it in, and they're following a good 10-15 feet and hitting it. As that jig comes in, they're following it. And when I start to hit a ledge and come up that ledge, they're ambushing it there. I mean, I guess. I really don't know. There's another one. He was up closer to the bank too. Thumping them now. 9-inch fish. Long cast, forget about it, let it fall. You gotta trust in that jig. You gotta trust in that jig. That jig's down there doing its job. Yeah. He hit it pretty good. Lighten them up now. Lighten them up. It's every cast or every other cast. Ledge fishing. Ledge fishing the big lakes, boy. Big time. That'll keep. He's fat. Not fat. Not like a springtime fat, but right. All right. Starting to look like something now. I don't think I've talked about my my jig setup yet. Running a double rig, okay. Hot pink Bobby Garland, 16th ounce on top, and an 1/8 ounce Mr. Crappie Thunder on the bottom. Chartreuse and red. Chartreuse and red is traditionally a pretty good wintertime color. It's good all year round, but can't catch them on that. They probably ain't even biting. So, but it's traditionally pretty good color for me during the winter. Hey folks, how we doing? Hope everybody's well. I'm scrambling to get a camera set up here. I've hooked into a big fish. A few minutes before this, the camera on my chest, the chest camera, the SD card had became full, and I started to switch it out, but I thought, you know what? I've got enough footage to make a video. I'm just going to enjoy this rest of this day. Beautiful 65-degree day in February. Can't beat it. And I did. I ended up catching 20 or 30 more crappies. Great day. And but anyway, hooked into this big fish and wanted to catch it on camera. Anyway, here we go. Man, it's been about 10 minutes now. That's crazy. It's been 5 minutes since I had him to the bank. I thought I had him whooped already then. Comes some big waves from a boat. Boat just went by. I got some big waves getting ready to crash along the shore here. I don't want to get my feet wet. Look at that ultralight bend. Ugly stick, baby. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't down there. Okay, here she comes. Big fish, 20-pound buffalo. Big head. On the Crappie Thunder. A lot of people don't even try to crappie fish the bank during the winter, especially on a big lake. They think you got to be out in a boat jigging over top of big brush piles. It's not always true. You can get them. They're out there. All right, appreciate you guys coming along. A video before this and maybe the next one after this or whatever. Been doing some lake fishing and explaining how to read the shoreline of a lake to get you on some crappie, and finding deep water by just reading the shoreline. So hopefully that helps y'all. Appreciate you guys coming along. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and give it a thumbs up. Hit the like button. And leave me a comment. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. We'll see you at the next spot. Later.